Friends, let's see how a generator test laboratory is built. What we see here in the picture is the test bench. I go closer to it. You're in a position to see the power analyzer, the monitor screen wherein the generator test flow software is there, the indicating meters, the selector switches. On the right of that you have a low voltage test trolley. It has 5 test instruments already in place. On top of that you can see a computer, laptop computer there, and then by the side of that is a motor connected in place of a generator for testing purposes, and then by the side of that we have the current transformers for the range up to 3000 amperes. There are 2 current transformer racks that you are able to see here. Now let me take you to the other side of the test bench. This is the LV test trolley, this test bench, and then below you are able to see the heater controller and also the heaters. These 2 heaters will be there, currently shown only 1 heater. They will be mounted inside the room where the generator testing will happen, one on the one side, the other on the other wall. And then you can also see the mist generator for the humidity. These are 4 in numbers, and you'll be in a position to see their operations as we go along. Let's begin with the low voltage test trolley here and the computer here. Now you can see this closer. On this particular screen you can see the edit generator test. You have the genset serial number, and you can see the resistance test has been conducted here. Once you click on the log button over there, the values of the resistance, ambient temperature as well as the winding temperature and humidity also will come automatically. Currently few of them are not connected. You can go for the second set of phases for which the generator winding resistance measurement will happen. All the 3 values populated immediately, and you can also do for the third set of phases also. Now friends, once this resistance test, winding resistance test is completed, we'll be going for the next test. Now you see the third value being acquired. And meanwhile I show you the kind of test instruments that are there for various tests in this low voltage test trolley. Here also you are in a position to see. I open this and you can see the test instrument here for the winding resistance measurement. See the values are coming here. Okay, you can also key in the ambient temperature and the winding temperature for which the sensor not connected, but you can key in the values. The humidity level also you can key in 70%, 80%, whatever you wish to save here, you can do that. And you save this and go to the next. You want to conduct the high voltage test, click on the next, and for that you need to have the connections made to the generator, in this particular case the motor, and you have this clips connected to the generator or the motor terminals. And once it is done, now your job is to click on the acquire button, and the values of how much is the voltage applied is about 500 volts in this particular case. The leakage current, whatever is flowing through will come automatically, and you save this and go to the next test. And the next test you have selected is the insulation resistance test. You have clicked on the next button, and here you will be in a position to see the measured value. Let me go closer to it, and you can see the measured insulation resistance values coming. You can keep the cursor in the second row and you will get the value for the same too. Okay, you can see the measurement. Now let's go to the third, and you click on the acquire button, and here the measurements coming automatically, data being saved. You can click on the save button, close the screen, and go to the next test. In this particular case, the search test. Now you will have some connections to be made. The test leads are already there, and a motor in place of a generator that is there. And we make the connections for the same. Okay, now here you click on the acquire button again, and you'll be in position to see what is happening from the search tester. It is reading the comparator status, setting the standard wave, and choose the standard, instrument triggered, and search testing is completed, and the result is pass. You can save this, close this particular screen, go to the next test. In this particular case, the capacitance tan delta, for which we are using the instrument OEM. When we are there you are browsing particular Excel file generated for the capacitance tan delta test, and it is saved immediately. You close this. Now you have completed all the low voltage tests. We have covered the winding resistance, we have covered the high voltage test, the applied voltage test, we have covered the insulation resistance test, we have conducted the surge test, and also the capacitance and dissipation factor measurement test. After conducting the low voltage test on this trolley, now let us go towards the test bench for conducting the power test. Now on the screen you can see the GT Bro software, and then there are indicating meters. Among them is the room temperature. You can see it's currently at 31 degrees centigrade. The humidity indicators are there. You can set the humidity as well as the temperature, and it gets attained automatically with this heaters. As I mentioned earlier, number of heaters will be there in the room, and this is the heater control panel. And then this is the mist generator for the humidity maintenance. You can see here how the mist is being generated and circulated in the room, and thereby you'll be in a position to see how the humidity changes automatically in this particular indicator. Now let's look at the test to be conducted. Now let's see the generator test pro software here. And you select the genset part number, and you come to the starting behavior test. You click on the next button. Here you will be in a position to set the time interval in seconds. You click on the acquire button, and with the timestamp the voltage gets logged, and you will be in a position to see the graph also. You can save this, close it, and go for the next test. You're going for the load test, and here you'll be in a position to see the loading 0%, that's without load. All the values are captured. Click on the log, then you go for the higher loading. In this particular case we do not have the engine and the generator, but we have the motor connected, but still you are in a position to simulate how the things will look like. The values may be different, but the concept is going to remain same. The 50% loading at which you can populate, get the values acquired automatically. You are gone for the 75% loading. You are increasing the loading with the help of the current drawn. Then you are gone for the 100% loading. The current is higher now. can also put it for the standby mode, and that computation also happens. Then you get it to back to 0% loading, and you're in position to click on the acquire and get the values related to that, and you save the whole thing. Yes, you have the all load test parameters are in place now. Before that, you can go for the vibration measurements. Now in this particular project, we have 3 vibration sensors: the axial, horizontal and vertical, and the values are getting populated automatically. You close the screen and you also save this and close. Now we go for, with this I think we have completed the low voltage test as well as the load test. And now let us draw the test report. For that, you select the genset part number and you go for the genset serial number, and this is the way you will be in a position to see the test report. Let's scroll it down and you can see the complete test report. It's a fat test report for diesel generator site, and then it has number of pages, the test procedure contents. You have the design data and template details for the genset. General information and measurements are also given. Let us see the test results: resistance test, the insulation resistance test, HV test, search test on the parameters what we have already seen earlier. Everything coming and populated automatically. The starting behavior test, it is there part of the test report. You can also see the page numbering is also coming automatically for each page of the test report. And the load test parameters you are able to see in this. You can see. Let's scroll down and see the test report for the other test: control panel and instruments reading, capacitance dissipation factor measurement. This test we have seen from the low voltage test trolley. Let's go down and see the vibration measurements test for all the 3 axes, and you have the testing instrument that played the role, their names and their calibration validity, everything is mentioned. This is the way this is the 8-page report being developed, generated immediately once you have conducted the test with a click of a button.